We're about to cross the border into Bolivia, where we'll only have 5 days to see and do as much fun and interesting things as possible.
That was probably the shortest stop, but it's gotta be one of the coolest.
You might be wondering, what can you get up to in 5 days in Bolivia? Well, we're about to find out. This is our 5-day Bolivian adventure.
Flamingos behind the bed.
We'll be starting with a 3-day tour, from the Bolivian border all the way to the famous salt flats in Uyuni.
This is our vehicle for the next 3 days.
We'll then catch an overnight bus north, where we'll spend our time exploring the unique city of La Paz. There's our first stop, which is the White Lagoon. You can see the reflection of the mountains in the background. And there's also a bunch of flamingos, it's really cool.
You can see why it's called the White Lake. It almost looks like salt or clay. It's probably some type of mineral. The one issue we have is our guide doesn't speak much English. So he says all of it in Spanish and then he sort of tries to say a little bit in English, doesn't he?
The surface of the lake lagoon is like sandy clay stuff. Smells really weird. Okay, next stop, the Green Lagoon.
Actually, a bit green. I didn't think it would be. Normally things are called Pink Lake, or I think we went to that Pink Lake in Australia and it wasn't pink. But this one is actually green. It's like turquoisey mint green type colour. I think the coolest thing about this lake is the fact that there's literally a volcano behind it. Volcanoes everywhere, yeah? Surrounded by them we are.
You're going to try and add to it?
Yeah! I did it! I feel like not only the places we're visiting are cool, but also just the surrounding areas. Like just looking around at all the mountains and the volcanoes. This is awesome, isn't it? Literally feels like we're in the middle of the desert, but what's funny is the only vehicles around seem to be these 4x4 jeeps, and every now and then in the distance you see this big cloud of smoke almost, and that's literally the dust coming from the back of the jeeps. It's quite funny actually.
The air's really dry. We've got some right crusty snobs. Is that too much information?
That might be too much information, but I have too. My nose is even been bleeding a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've just been told next stop is lunch, and then we get to go in the hot springs. It's like when you go into a hot bath and you've got to be like...
It's like taking my breath away a bit. How nice is that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is heaven. We have made it to the hot springs. We thought we were having lunch.
Tell.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell. We thought we were having lunch first, but it turns out we got a quick dip in the hot springs first and then lunch afterwards.
And they are lovely.
He said to only go in for 20 to 25 minutes because it can give you a headache. This is so good. Oh my god, there's literally a flamingo right there. I am in a hot spring in Bolivia watching a flamingo. Living the dream.
Are you allowed to put your head under?
I don't know, nobody else is.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, my face. My eyes. Oh, that's hot. Two things. When I was in the change room, the shower curtain randomly just flew open and my naked rear end was just on show for everyone that was looking into the boys' change rooms. And number two, I haven't got any deodorant. It's locked in my case, so my pits are going to be smelly.
Oh, I have my deodorant in my bag. You'll have to check mine. So we've just walked in. We've got a full table set up for lunch.
It's like a proper restaurant. Or like a little cafe.
Yeah, so 5 minutes and lunch will be served. So I saw some geysers in Chile and I was seeing some geysers here, but these ones are absolutely ginormous compared to the ones we saw.
Yeah, they're not fountain ones, so they don't actually shoot up water. Also, I figured out where I heard geyser for the first time, and it's off the game The Land Before Time on the PS1 when I was about 7.
Whoa.
Is it snowing? Is it snow?
Snow. It's probably rain, Ash. It might actually be snowing. It's snowing. It is snowing.
Yeah, I said
It is snowing.
I said it was snowing.
What? We went from
Oh my God.
30-degree weather yesterday to snow. It's actually snowing. What the heck? These ones absolutely stink.
They smell like rotten eggs.
They smell like rotten eggs real bad.
This guy's field is 4,990 metres above sea level, and this is the highest altitude we've ever been. And at this height, your breath feels really short. The air is so thin, and you don't really get much oxygen.
And somebody's got a headache. They say that's one of the main things, isn't it? A headache and sometimes a bit of a bad stomach.
Maybe I need to slam some coca leaves.
Right. Back on the bus for the next stop then.
Back on the what? Back on the bus? Maybe you're suffering with a bit of altitude sickness.
Back on the Jeep. I should. Whoa, Jeepers. Maybe I am suffering with a bit of altitude sickness. I'm all over the place here.
I see no difference to your normal self. What pills are these? What's in the pill?
Don't ask.
Nobody knows, just take it.
Is it?
You feel very good after.
One questionable pill later.
Oh, it's gone.
An extremely powerful geyser. And Kelsey's first inkooey. Did you enjoy your pee with a view?
I did. Thank you so much. So sorry.
After a short bumpy ride, we arrived at the last and probably coolest spot of the day.
So we've made it to what we think is our last stop of the day, which is Laguna Colorada. And it's this huge, gigantic, beautiful rainbow lake.
I'm getting a little bit suspicious. This is our sixth cool stop in pretty close proximity. Is this really the work of Mother Nature? Or is it just the Bolivian tourism board setting all this up to get tourists in?
It just blows my mind that something like this is natural. Like how in the world is a lagoon pink? Is water pink naturally? Ashley took the mick out of me for going for an inkooey earlier. We're going for an inkooey now. Well, that one's not too bad. Just emptying the dust and stones and sand from our shoes. But we have made it to our hotel for the night after a very long, bumpy ride. And it's actually way nicer than I expected. We have a private bathroom, we even have a little swan hot towel. Our guide said dinner will be ready soon, and that's that. So this is the town we stayed in last night. It's a really small town called Villamar in the mountains. We've even got a field of alpacas in the background.
What did the llama say to the alpaca that asked for a divorce?
I don't know.
I'll pack your bags for you. I want to pet one.
Me too, but I don't know if it's allowed.
First stop of the day, we've come to a bunch of rocks.
We have. I think this morning is very much all about rocks. We've just made it to our first one.
Which looks like the World Cup trophy, apparently.
Our guide said Bolivia have never won the World Cup, but to us we have it. When Ashley sees something he can climb, he's up there. Good view from up there. Okay, now this one actually does look like his name. This one is called the Camel Rock.
What's a camel's favourite song?
I don't know.
Black Eyed Peas, My Hump. My Hump, My Hump, My Hump.
Oh, lovely lady.
Yeah, these are the massive rock formations and the roads just literally go in between them. Pretty cool place. This is exactly how I picture like New Mexico and Arizona, not Bolivia. Just to show how big the rocks are here, Kelsey's there.
I'm a little bit gutted we don't have longer in this place. It's really big, and like you could probably spend ages just walking around, climbing up all the rocks, seeing different viewpoints.
It's really photogenic.
Yeah. What a stop off. So this used to be a big huge lagoon, but it doesn't have much water in it at the moment. But there's probably like 100 flamingos in it, and shock, a bunch of alpacas. Watch out for the alpaca poop. Our guy dropped us off there and he said, yeah, just walk through here and I'll pick you up the other side. And he's basically told us to walk through a field of alpaca poop. But my meme just walked into my car. My guy told me to come this way, didn't mean to disturb you. I didn't think I would be able to get that close to them. So tempted to just be like, but I don't really know that much about them. They could be like, sometimes they would be eating and then one of them would be like, staring at me and I'd be like, hello, I'm friendly.
Our lunch stop was at the Red Valley. That's some serious llama poop, where we got to walk around before enjoying some good food. The rest of the afternoon was spent visiting small stops like the Anaconda Valley.
Oh my gosh.
How high up are we?
I have no idea. That was probably the shortest stop, but it's gotta be one of the coolest.
Searching for the Bolivian ostrich.
We're on the hunt for a bird that apparently looks a bit like an ostrich, and it's sometimes seen in this area. Levels of disappointment. Found one. Right in the back there.
Trying some unusual beer in a small town.
Smells nice, huh? Smells not bad.
And seeing some of the biggest cacti we've ever seen.
Come see some giant cactus.
This is such a random stop. There's literally cactuses, cacti, cacti everywhere. I've just got the urge to just put my hand into it.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because they look fluffy.
Touch it with your finger.
It looks like I could just give it a bit of a hug.
Touch
Especially
it
this bit.
with your finger, just one of them.
Oh my gosh, I didn't expect it to be that sharp.
Our guide just told us they only grow 1 to 2 centimetres per year, so you can calculate how old they are by measuring them. And apparently they believe that if you cut them open, there's liquid inside that can cure cancer.
It's crazy that they start this small and end up being this tall. How many years old do you reckon this one is?
If they grow 1 to 2 centimetres per year, that probably looks about, I'm going to say like 20 feet. 2.2 centimetres I think per inch, 12 inches in a feet, 20 times 12, 240, 240 times 2, 480 odd years.
Wow. And this is our last stop of the day. We are now going to be heading to our hotel. We are actually staying in a salt hotel tonight. So excited.
Apparently it's all made of salt.
Go on, lick it.
Oh no.
I thought it was all made of salt. It's definitely not salt. That's paint. Oh, whoa, oh we got a...
We have an alpaca made out of salt on the wall and flamingos behind the bed. Whoa! Nah, this is going to be the coolest hotel we've ever stayed in. Oh, that one's way saltier than the bricks. Always go, oh. It's quite a nice brick.
That's so strange. The whole wall is made out of salt, even like these bits.
The bricks I find are really cool because like they've used like salt as cement.
Look. You need some salt for your chips? There you go.
Oh my gosh, it's the bathroom made out of salt. Oh no, but we have a cool coral wall.
If you couldn't tell, we were very impressed with the uniqueness of our salt hotel. The next morning was an early start, a quick goodbye to the hotel dog, and we set off for the main event.
What a way to start our morning.
Day 3 in Bolivia, and we are starting with sunrise on the salt flats.
This is so amazing. Unique, isn't it? Like the shapes on the floor. Feels like ice when you're walking on it.
Feels like crunching on ice.
4 AM wake up call was so worth it. You could just take so many photos, can't you? It's just so unique, so cool.
We're literally on our own as well. Like, this place is so big. We passed like a few tour groups all the way over there, but we're the only ones.
I just can't stop smiling. Like, I haven't really got many words.
Just one of those things that you have to like just
See in person.
be in the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I think coming here for sunrise as well was like even better.
I think there's one thing left to do. Taste it, taste it, taste it.
Wow. It's salt, alright. They didn't just give it the name Salt Flats for no reason.
Okay, our guys just been telling us some facts. The salt flats itself is 2,000 kilometres squared, and from east to west it's 200 kilometres. There's about this much salt, and then there's water, and then there's salt again. So it's basically like we're on one giant frozen lake, but instead of ice, it's salt.
So the sun's come up now and you can really see how far the salt flats actually go. And now we are going to be having breakfast on the salt flats. It's the coolest place I've ever had breakfast. Cake for breakfast. The size of that, it almost looks like a crystal. When you walk on like the outer edge of the pattern, it's really satisfying to hear the crunch. Come and hear the crunch. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
We've invented a new game. Salt.
Obviously.
Obviously, there's nothing else here. The game is you throw the salt in the air and you've got to look each other in the eyes and let it.
Hit someone.
It rained last night and we made it to the part of the salt flats that's really flooded, and it's giving this really cool mirror effect.
There's a hole in the salt to show the salt in
Oh my god. Whoa, counts.
I can't decide which stop has been the best. I kind of love that we've seen the salt flats in like different perspectives all throughout the morning. I was going to say they were very lucky that it has rained. The guide said yesterday. Hey, you splashing water at me. You run away, little scared cat. I can't run in these boots. Ha! Ha!
We made it to a spot with loads of flags and there's even a Welsh one. The flags were next to the world's first salt hotel, where everything is made out of salt. The walls, the bar, the clocks, the sculptures, the table and chairs, even the outside. Toilets, however, not salt. However, they smell really bad.
Well, that was pretty cool. The world's first salt hotel.
Giant sculpture with the word Bolivia on it, and if you hadn't guessed, entirely made out of salt. We made it to our last stop of our 3-day tour. This is by far the busiest. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there is just so many 4x4s. And we made it to a place where trains come to die.
It's a train cemetery. I can't say if I've been to a train cemetery before.
These trains used to transport salt all over Bolivia, maybe even South America. But that's just a guess.
Yeah, our guide did try and tell us, but he said they're all in Spanish.
Don't take that as facts, that is a pure guess. But it makes sense.
So we found out that the reason this is such a big tourist attraction is because the first train station was actually in Uini.
Later that night we headed north to La Paz on an overnight bus, but we were slightly confused when we were served airplane food before we'd even left the bus station.
Have a hot meal. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't feel that hot. It's like airplane food. Chicken, rice, veg.
The weirdest bus experience ever. We were supposed to leave at 9, it's now 23 minutes past 9. We haven't left, but we've had a meal. Is it a bus or is it a restaurant?
It's got a whole lot weirder. We just got handed a cake. Not a cupcake or slice, like a full-on sized cake.
Apart from the delay, we had no complaints. We were given a bottle of water. We had a TV screen that didn't work, the usual leg rests that we've only seen in South America, and a pillow and blanket. The bus was also fitted with these cool mood lighting. Ooh. We woke up to a breakfast roll with some juice, and we finally made it into the city. We have made it to La Paz, which is one of 2 capitals in Bolivia, Sucre being the other one, but this one's the most populated and has the government building. So we're going to say that this is the capital. It also sits at over 3,500 meters, making it the highest elevated capital in the world. And we're doing a self-guided tour today, and our first stop of that tour is the San Francisco Basilica behind me.
It's in like a really popular square, and there's loads of street vendors selling street food. These peach drinks, which I think we need to look into. But the building stands out so much compared to the other buildings around you. You can tell it's been here for a lot longer.
We had a quick look in the cathedral, but turns out you can't film, you can't take pictures. So we are on to stop number 2, which happens to be this street that we're on now, which is right next to the cathedral, called Saginaga Street.
By the looks of it so far, there's a bunch of like tourist shops, a bunch of street vendors, and this... Why am I out of breath?
Because of the altitude.
And this street is actually where our hotel is. So public transportation here seems to be these little small vans, and they remind me so much of the jeepneys in the Philippines.
So we're at the Witch's Market now, which is the street that runs across from the Saginaga Street, and there's a bunch of souvenir shops, it looks like.
It's called the Witch's Market because they sell potions, spells and mystical items that apparently help cure diseases and any other health problems you have. I think we've come across some of these like potions and things,
Agua de los Espiritus.
which when we googled it was spirit water. And down here we don't really understand what this says, but this is like the lungs, liver, diabetes. So there's obviously like natural like herbs and stuff that can help with those things.
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
We've made it to the main square of the city, which is Plaza de Murillo. We've got three main buildings here. We've got the Metropolitan Cathedral behind me, we've got the Government Palace here, and we've also got the Legislative Palace. And all four of these stops were on our self-guided tour, so we've just ticked off 4 things in one stop.
Blending right in with the camera crew crowd.
Wow, the view up here is insane. You can literally see the whole of the pads.
We normally try and start our day with a viewpoint of the city, but it's actually been quite nice to end our day with a viewpoint of the city for a change.
What an underrated country Bolivia ended up being. The salt flats were definitely the highlight of the trip, and the rest of the sights along the way were a big bonus. If you've never thought of coming to Bolivia, we hope that we've changed your mind.